Thank you very much. And referring to our memorable dinner last night, I have a slightly different message today, so stay tuned. But it's very much in line with what we have heard during these couple days, and I'm very happy to have been able to listen in and to participate in the Nordregio Forum this year. It has been an inspiring meeting place for exchange of ideas between innovators, researchers and policymakers working with green growth and green transition. The program has covered a number of interesting issues. Some of this year's focus is closely linked to some of our main priorities in the Nordic Council of Ministers plans. In my capacity as Secretary General, I have followed the work done in this area during the past few years, and I'm pleased to say that I think we have made some important progress towards the green transition. We're not there, but we are moving in the right direction. When the Nordic Prime Ministers launched their Green Growth Initiative in 2011, it was with the vision to create societies that are not only based on sustainable solutions, but which can also foster economic growth. And it was with an ambition to make the Nordic countries leading in this area. The Green Growth Programme has built on a solid base from which the Nordic countries can continue their work on innovative and green solutions. The new Prime Ministerial initiative that will start up next year will follow up and build on the work from the Green Growth Programme and ensure that the focus on sustainability and green transition continues even stronger within the Nordic countries and beyond. Our ambition is nothing less than finding Nordic solutions to some of these global challenges, and being this ambitious puts pressures on us to reach innovative results, and I'm confident that we will. The coming Prime Minister's initiative will contain 5 flagship initiatives, all of which will contribute to a more sustainable future. These flagships, to name a few, will focus on building sustainable cities, building on the strong tradition and development in the cities planning environment in the Nordic countries. It will focus on creating integrated energy markets. We have a strong record in this field in the Nordics, and promoting renewable energy, which is also a stronghold of the Nordic countries. One of our Nordic institutions, Nordic Energy Research, will be in charge of one of these flagships, and that is why at the end of my speech I will give the floor to Hans-Jørgen Koch, who is the director of NEF, so that he can tell you more about what we're planning to do in this area. In our new initiative, we will also continue to push for further action on challenging and reforming the systems many countries have today, with national subsidies to fossil fuels. The Nordic Prime Minister sees their initiative not only as the joint top initiative for the upcoming years, but as a direct contribution to the implementation of the 2030 Agenda, as well as our joint climate ambitions. Today we have also heard a very interesting presentation on the new Nordic Green to Scale study. I also witnessed that presentation in Marrakesh, and it caught a lot of attention there. The Nordic countries are enjoying many of the benefits that come with a more ambitious climate policy, sustainable growth, socio-economic development, and a high level of human well-being. And that is precisely why the Green to Scale project is so relevant. It can assist countries in identifying concrete existing solutions to meet current climate ambitions and going beyond them, while enjoying the co-benefits such as improved air quality. I would also like to mention the Nordic Energy Cooperation that has added considerable value to our countries. It is a collaboration that the Nordic Ministers for Energy want to develop further by carrying out a strategic review of the energy sector, much like the strategic review that has been carried out for defense and security, for health, for labor market, and so on. The strategic review is led by the Finnish business leader Jorma Ollila, and it's planned to be launched during the first half of next year. It will be an important input to further Nordic energy cooperation in the years to come, including on how to best regionally assist the countries in achieving the ambitious climate and energy targets. This is yet another field where it is evident that the Nordic countries can benefit from each other by sharing experiences. Another area where we, the Nordic countries, have natural advantages is the forest sector, as you heard yesterday. It's one of our greatest natural resources. In fact, 30% of the forests in Europe are found in Sweden and Finland, but also Norway and several Baltic states have considerable amount of forests and potential to increase the utilization of this resource. But having the resource is not enough. We also need to harvest it and utilize it in an efficient and sustainable way. This is where the Nordic countries excel, and I think it's safe to say that we have amongst the best prerequisites to develop sustainable bioeconomy in this field. With new technologies and innovative ideas, we can replace oil and decrease our impact on climate and the depletion of our natural resources. And here, biomass from forests and other biological resources will be crucial. What is important to fully utilize all the valuable materials in biomass? Burning is easy, as been said, but before we burn the residuals, we should make efforts to extract the oils, the fibers, and other valuables, which also can contribute to the replacement of fossil energy. Ladies and gentlemen, my experience is that change may be accomplished both through many tiny steps, but also with some giant leaps. In our work so far, we have taken many small steps. I strongly believe that we should be ready for some giant leaps around the corner. And I'm, however, fully aware that change requires substantial efforts and a lot of work on many levels. We are, among other factors, deepening we are depending on political will, as had been underlined by many here today, smart brains, innovative ideas, and fruitful cooperation. I believe that the Nordregio Forum is a good example of a forum where we share knowledge and where such cooperation in practice can take place. I also believe that it is together that we truly can make green growth a reality and not just a vision for the future. And this year's Nordregio Forum confirms that we in the Nordic cooperation can take a lead when it comes to developing models and examples to inspire change on a global level. As we have heard during these days, Finland has high ambitions for green transition on bioeconomy and can be an inspiration for all of us. It has been confirmed that we need new solutions to old challenges, that cooperation paves the road we will have to walk. The unique Nordic trust we have makes it possible for us to cooperate also in this area. And maybe we should look to Germany and make a joint Nordic action plan for a climate-neutral region in some target year ahead of us. We know that sustainable development requires conscious action. The fact that we see companies taking the lead makes me confident that true change can be achieved. I was listening with great interest to this morning's keynote, and I want to add one aspect that I think lacked in this morning's discussion, and I do it out of my own experience. In this transition process, there is a huge need for to be attentive to the changes that have to take place in human behavior. And human behavior is, of course, not only based on individual decisions made rationally in a closed room. It is influenced by a whole set of incentives and frameworks and regulations. And I think it's extremely important to be aware of the willingness among the population in the Nordic countries to change behavior, to change ways, to change practices. And to encourage that by using public policy measures. I think we should be much more focused on the triangle with public regulations, innovations, and growth, economic markets. But we should be equally focused on the necessity to, from a policy point of view, be ready to push the bar when the people are ready for it. My experience is mainly, as you heard yesterday, in public health. But if I had listened to those who said we need more research, we need to wait, we need to do a lot of other things before we really change our frameworks, we wouldn't have seen the development in Norway in the field of smoking. But we decided to do a rough regulation, to really use a lot of measures to stimulate the change of behavior. And today, Norway is the one country in the OECD area where there is the most extensive and rapid decrease in the number of smokers. And the last figures show that only 2% of the adolescents do smoke on a daily basis now. And this is my background for saying, don't underestimate a population that is ready for change. Push that change through public policies and do all the other things also. Of course, in everything be knowledge-based. But the behavioral side of what we have in front of us is extremely important for reaching our targets. With these words, thank you very much for participating in this forum, and thank you very much for being a part of the change, a part of the solutions. I can assure you that the Nordic region wants to be a part of the solution going forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dagfinn.